His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa today received a cable of congratulations from His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, on the occasion of the Kingdom's national holidays, the anniversary of His Majesty the King's accession to the throne, and the accompanying national occasions. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister hailed the landmark development strides across all fields, which contributed to creating promising opportunities and meeting the goals set by His Majesty the King. In the cable, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister reiterated loyalty to His Majesty the King, pledging to continue the dedicated work to serve the nation, building Bahrain's present and its bright future. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister paid homage to the fallen servicemen who fell in the line of duty to defend the nation, noting His Majesty the King's initiative to declare the commemoration day in tribute to their sacrifices. His Majesty the King also sent a cable of thanks to His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister in reply to his congratulatory cable on the occasion of the Kingdom's national days. His Majesty the King paid homage to the fallen servicemen, recalling their sacrifices to defend their country and people, as well as the dignity of the nation. His Majesty the King expressed pride in Bahrain's strides, hailing His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister's landmark development achievements and the dedicated efforts across all the fields. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa today received a cable from the wife of His Majesty the King and President of the Supreme Council for Women, Her Royal Highness Princess Sabika bint Ibrahim Al Khalifa, on the occasion of the Kingdom's national days, the anniversary of His Majesty the King's accession to the throne, and the accompanying national occasions. Her Royal Highness congratulated His Majesty the King on the comprehensive and integrated development renaissance that the Kingdom of Bahrain is witnessing. His Majesty the King sent a reply cable thanking Her Royal Highness, the wife of His Majesty the King, in which His Majesty the King expressed his pride in congratulating Her Royal Highness on the anniversary of the glorious National Day and the accompanying national occasions. His Majesty the King praised the great civilizational achievements attained in all the fields and the role of Her Royal Highness and her great national contributions through Her Royal Highness's leadership of the Supreme Council for Women and the tireless efforts to enhance women's status and role in building and stabilizing the Bahraini female and achieving her aspirations in the process of national action in a manner to achieve more honorable gains and achievements. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, the Supreme Commander, today received a cable of congratulations from the Commander of the National Guard, General His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Isa Al Khalifa, on the occasion of the Kingdom's national days, the anniversary of His Majesty the King's accession to the throne, and the accompanying national occasions. General His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Isa extended, on behalf of all the National Guard affiliates, the deepest congratulations to His Majesty the King, the Supreme Commander, on the national occasion. The National Guard Commander lauded the major role played by the Bahrain Defense Force and its brave servicemen in defending the nation in accordance with the directives of His Majesty the King, the Supreme Commander. His Majesty the King, the Supreme Commander, sent a reply cable of thanks to the National Guard Commander, expressing pride in the landmark achievement of the Bahrain Defense Force, the National Guard, and all the security authorities in defending the nation and safeguarding its accomplishments, progress, march, security, and stability. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa received congratulatory cables from Their Majesties, Highnesses, and Excellencies, Kings, Princes, and Presidents of Arab, Islamic, and friendly countries on the occasion of the Kingdom of Bahrain's celebration of its national holidays and the anniversary of His Majesty the Great King's accession to the throne and the accompanying national occasions. They extended their best wishes for good health and happiness to His Majesty the King and to the Kingdom of Bahrain and its people, continued progress and prosperity. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa held a telephone call yesterday with the Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. His Majesty praised the distinguished organization and great success of the Egyptian presidential elections, which witnessed a wide interest and participation by the brotherly Egyptian people. His Majesty wished Egypt and its people further progress and prosperity. President Assisi congratulated Bahrain, its leadership and its people on the occasion of Bahrain National Day and wished the kingdom further progress and prosperity during the prosperous era of His Majesty the King. His Majesty praised the historic bilateral relations and the cooperation in all fields that achieves the joint aspired goals. They also discussed the current situation in Gaza and highlighted the efforts that are underway to reach a ceasefire and allow humanitarian aid delivery. The first Deputy Chairman of the Supreme Council for Youth and Sports, General Sports Authority Chairman and Bahrain Olympic Committee President, His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa, witnessed the semi-final competitions of 2023 IMMAF Asian Championships. The competitions were held during Brave International Combat Week, which is hosted by Bahrain under the patronage of His Highness Sheikh Khalid and organized by Brave CF in cooperation with the Bahraini and Asian Mixed Martial Arts Federations and in partnership with the International Mixed Martial Arts Federation, IMMAF. The semi-finals were also attended by the Deputy Chairman of the General Sports Authority and the Chairman of the Bahrain Combat Sports Council, His Highness Sheikh Salman bin Mohammed Al Khalifa, President of the Bahrain Jiu-Jitsu Federation Rida Munfaridi, President of the Bahrain Mixed Martial Arts Federation Muhammad Ali Qambar, and Brave CF President Muhammad Shahid. His Highness followed the competitions and encouraged the Bahraini team, motivated them and supported them to provide the best results and levels. He praised the outstanding performance of 2023 IMMAF Asian Championships and the development of the levels of the participating teams. His Highness Sheikh Khalid praised Bahrain national team's performance that reflects the development of the sport after the series of global and regional achievements achieved by the MMA team over the past years. He stressed that Bahrain's hosting this event is a great achievement, noting that it enhances the kingdom's position as a destination for combat sports in general and MMA in particular. His Highness wished Bahrain's team success. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa opened the National Days Festival at Heritage Village, which is organized by the Ministry of Information at Ras Hayyan. The festival marks the Kingdom of Bahrain's National Days, commemorating the founding of the modern Bahraini state as an Arab and Muslim state in 1783 by Ahmed al-Fatih, and the anniversary of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa's accession to the throne. Upon arrival, His Highness was welcomed by the Minister of Information, Dr. Ramzan bin Abdullah al-Naimi. His Highness emphasized that the National Days celebrations highlight the Kingdom's wide-reaching achievements in line with His Majesty the King's vision. His Highness noted that the National Days celebrations serve as a reminder of the cross-generational efforts to achieve the Kingdom's development goals. Marking the National Days celebration, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Salman congratulated His Majesty the King and His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa and wished the Kingdom of Bahrain continued progress and prosperity under the leadership of His Majesty the King. His Highness, along with the attendees, toured the Heritage Village, which included several shows and activities, including traditional bands, a local souk, and entertainment programs for children. His Highness noted that the festival is co-organized by government and civil society entities and coincides with National Day celebrations to showcase the citizens and residents' deep affection and loyalty to the Kingdom and its leadership. His Highness highlighted the significance of the National Days Festival at Heritage Village and commended the organization of the efforts by the Ministry of Information and all other concerned authorities. He wished the festival success in achieving its goals, noting that it showcases the kingdom's culture and heritage to its local and international visitors. For his part, the Minister of Information expressed his gratitude to His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa for opening the National Days Festival at the Heritage Village, encouraging the employees of the Ministry of Information to continue serving the Kingdom of Bahrain. Dr. Al-Naimi affirmed the ministry's commitment to consolidating the values of belonging among the Bahraini citizens, especially among the youth and children, as well as highlighting the national achievements and the kingdom's unprecedented development under the leadership of His Majesty the King and supported by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister. The Speaker of the Representatives Council, Ahmed bin Salman Al Msallam, expressed pride in the leadership of His Majesty the King and the great achievements and pioneering development attained for citizens in implementation of the royal visions. This came on the occasion of the Kingdom of Bahrain's celebration of its national holidays and the anniversary of His Majesty the King's accession to the throne and the accompanying national events. On this occasion, Mr. Al Msallam affirmed the continuation of achievements and exerting the utmost efforts to support the comprehensive development process to reap the benefits for the nation and the citizens. The Speaker of the Representatives Council lauded the great efforts made by the government headed by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister that made the Kingdom of Bahrain a role model regionally and internationally. Al Msallam also praised the constructive cooperation between the executive and the legislative authorities in following up on the implementation of the government's program and continuing to formulate Bahraini success stories in various sectors. And the chairman of the Shura Council, Mr. Ali Saleh Saleh, praised the progress, development and prosperity achieved by the Kingdom of Bahrain and the great development and civilizational achievements it attained during the prosperous era of His Majesty the King. This came on the occasion of the Kingdom of Bahrain's celebration of its national holidays and the anniversary of His Majesty the King's accession to the throne and the accompanying national events. On this occasion, the chairman of the Shura Council stressed the keenness to exert the utmost efforts to support the nation's march and to strive to achieve all that is beneficial for the nation and its citizens. As-Saleh noted the great efforts of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister and his benevolent endeavors, which brought gains and achievements to the Kingdom of Bahrain and the advanced work of the government. Mr. As-Saleh also praised the pioneering role of Her Royal Highness, the wife of His Majesty the King, in regards to Bahraini women's achievements, consolidating their gains, preserving their rights, and consolidating their national status. The Supreme Council of Health has played a major role in strengthening and developing the health system in the public and private sectors in accordance with the best standards of health practice in the Kingdom of Bahrain. Over the past years, the Council has contributed to preparing the development of the health and medical sector and emphasizing the embodiment of the principles of transparency, justice and sustainability in the health sector in the Kingdom of Bahrain. An integrated health system developed by the Supreme Council of Health since its establishment in 2013 was embodied through its contribution to building the necessary strategies to develop the health sector, enhance the efficiency of services, and the sustainability of health resources. The Supreme Council of Health's tasks are based on several goals, including developing policies regarding the total number of beds required by Bahrainis and distributing them to acute, chronic, psychological and other cases, coordinating the plans and programs of the ministries, institutions and bodies concerned with the implementation, and developing a policy for financing health services through implementing a comprehensive health insurance system. The Supreme Council for Health also works to develop quality standards for health services and takes the necessary measures to ensure respect for the rights and safety of those who benefit from them in coordination with the relevant health authorities, in addition to approving training controls and policies in both the hospitals and health educational institutions to ensure the provision of medical, health and administrative personnel. One of the most prominent projects that the Supreme Council has supported is the Choose Your Doctor and Disbursement of Sahati Cards project, one of the executive initiatives of the National Healthcare Development Program, which aims to develop the health institutional structure in the Kingdom of Bahrain to be characterized by competitiveness and high quality. The Kingdom of Bahrain is considered one of the leading countries in the field of health due to the achievements throughout its remarkable renaissance. Healthcare receives great attention in the kingdom as it is among the priorities of development programs in Bahrain. An insightful vision enabled the health sector in Bahrain to reap the achievements and successes in the quality and efficiency of health and treatment services, which constituted a shining example in the health record as the kingdom became a global model in providing treatment in accordance with the foundations and principles of justice and humanity. This distinction in the health system comes as a result of the continuous interest of His Majesty the King in providing advanced health services in a way that ensures high efficiency, the necessary speed and the effectiveness in providing these services, and with the close follow-up by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, which contributed significantly to the development of the health institutional work. The health sector in Bahrain provides preventative health, environment and other services and plays a major role in setting the health standards and follow-up on their implementation in accordance with the best scientific foundations and standards of health practice approved in the kingdom. The growing establishment of health institutions in Bahrain in its public and private sectors comes as confirmation of the solidarity of plans which affirms the renaissance and growth of the health sector, which is in line with the Sustainable Development Goals and the indicators and targets contained within these goals. The health services in the Kingdom of Bahrain are provided in accordance with the standards of transparency, competitiveness, freedom of choice, justice and sustainability, with the aim of ensuring high and safe quality services and building the health system on solid foundations. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdul Latif bin Rashid Al Zayani, held a meeting with the UK Secretary of State for Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Affairs, Mr. David Cameron. The meeting was attended by the British Minister of State for the Middle East, North Africa, South Asia, Commonwealth and United Nations at the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, Lord Tariq Ahmed, Bahrain's ambassador to the United Kingdom, Sheikh Fawaz bin Mohammed Al Khalifa, and the delegation accompanying the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Mr. David Cameron welcomed the foreign minister's visit to the UK, praising the level of the long-standing friendship between Bahrain and Britain and commending their joint efforts to further bolster cooperation between them. He underlined his country's keenness to strengthen its friendship and cooperation with Bahrain to serve their common interests. Dr. Zayani congratulated Mr. Cameron on his appointment as the UK Secretary of State for Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Affairs, wishing him every success in carrying out his duties. He praised the steady progress of the solid historical friendship between Bahrain and the United Kingdom, citing the recent elevation of the two kingdoms' cooperation to the level of strategic dialogue, confirming the distinction of their ties and their shared keenness to develop them at all levels. Both ministers reviewed the progress of the existing relations between the two kingdoms and the ways to enhance bilateral cooperation in the political, economic and development fields. They also discussed the ways to increase trade exchange and joint investment cooperation, as well as implement vital projects for the benefit of both countries and their peoples. The two sides stressed the need to continue developing bilateral cooperation, coordination and political consultation towards various challenges facing the countries of the region in a way that supports the endeavors to achieve security, stability, peace and prosperity. They also discussed the latest developments of the tragic situation in the Gaza Strip and the effects of the ongoing war on the civilian population, as well as on the regional security and stability. Both sides also reviewed the regional and international efforts aimed at reaching a ceasefire, ending the war, protecting civilians, and opening safe corridors to deliver humanitarian and relief aid to the residents of the Gaza Strip in compliance with the international humanitarian law. Dr. Zayani and Mr. Cameron also discussed intensifying efforts to revive the peace process in the Middle East. Bahrain International Airport held a celebration on the occasion of the Kingdom of Bahrain's celebration of its national days. The airport celebrations also coincided with the anniversary of His Majesty the King's accession to the throne and the accompanying national events for the airport's travelers and visitors. This celebration featured a performance by a Bahraini musical band who played national songs that reflected the kingdom's heritage and history. Travelers received a warm welcome from airport staff who wore colors of the Bahraini flag. The tourists and the travelers also received souvenirs and were offered Bahraini hospitality treats during arrivals and departures through Bahrain International Airport. The employees of the Bahrain Airport Company expressed their pride on this occasion, which is an opportunity for everyone to remember the national development process full of achievements and successes, which enabled the kingdom to reach a high position in various international forums.
حبيتهم يكرهوني حبهم في فؤادي بحر ما له مقاييس داخل غرقوني في السويدة لهم نهر عامرة بالأحاسيس بس ليه حيروني وحبك يا رسول السلامة لا تخيب غيروني وبسألك عن البحرين كيف أهل المنامة عادوني وما أظن الذي حبيتهم يكرهوني لا ولا يظلموني ولا يظلموني.
Bahrain Post at the Ministry of Transportation and Telecommunication, in coordination with Bahrain Authority for Culture and Antiquities, issued a set of 4 commemorative stamps that shed light on Bahrain's heritage. The stamps are issued coinciding with the occasion of the Kingdom of Bahrain's celebration of its national days, the anniversary of His Majesty the King's accession to the throne, and the accompanying national events. The design of the stamp showcases the renowned Bahraini pearls. Bahrain has always been known for its salty and fresh waters that flow on in the sea and land. This characteristic, from which the name of Bahrain has been derived, has distinguished the quality of Bahraini pearls. The stamps are offered in all postal branches at the price of 2 BD, and the price of the first day's stamp envelope is BD 2.5. Marking Bahrain's National Day, the ambassador of the French Republic to the Kingdom of Bahrain, Eric Gerard Telmi, affirmed the growing cooperation between the two countries and wished Bahrain a happy National Day.
On behalf of France and on behalf of the French President, Mr. Emmanuel Macron, I would like to extend my heartfelt wishes to His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, to His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, to the government and to all the people of Bahrain on the occasion of the 52nd National Day of Bahrain. France and Bahrain share more than 50 years of historic friendship, partnership, cooperation in various fields like education, like culture, sport, environment, economy, investment, and many other fields. And I am confident that the warm bonds between our two countries will further be strengthened in the weeks, months, and years to come. شكراً للبحرينيين على الترحيب بالجالية الفرنسية في المملكة وأتمنى لكم عيد وطني سعيداً.
The ambassador of the Republic of Korea to the Kingdom of Bahrain, Ko Hyun-sung, commended Bahrain on the accomplishments that had been made throughout this year, including the decree to establish an embassy for Bahrain in Korea. He gave a statement marking Bahrain's National Day.
On the occasion of the National Day of the Kingdom of Bahrain, I'm pleased to convey my heartfelt congratulations to the people of Bahrain. Also, I'd like to express my appreciation for the great leadership of His Majesty, King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, and His Royal Highness, Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, in guiding Bahrain to grow as a beacon of innovation and peace in the region. 2023 was a historically memorable year for Bahrain. The nation made a big progress in diplomatic relations with global leading countries. This year is also significant in terms of the bilateral relation with Korea. In June, a royal decree was issued to establish the diplomatic mission in Korea. The new Bahraini embassy that will be established in Korea next year as a partner of Korean embassy here will play an essential role in enhancing the bilateral relation with Korea. In addition, the visit of high-level trade delegation to Korea in May and the 5th Korean Bahraini Business Forum held in November are among the big strides made for the economic cooperation between the two countries. I anticipate further growth in bilateral relations in next year. And lastly, I'd like to extend all my best wishes for the great success and prosperity of Bahrain in 2024.
The ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to the Kingdom of Bahrain, R.D. Hermawan, expressed good wishes to the leadership and people of Bahrain, marking the National Day.
On behalf of the President Joko Widodo, the government of the Republic of Indonesia, and of course the Indonesian people, I would like to extend our congratulations to the Kingdom of Bahrain on the occasions of the 52nd of the National Day. We express our sincere gratitude to His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and Crown Prince and Prime Minister His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa for their exceptional leadership, which has ensured the safety and well-being of the Indonesian communities residing in this beautiful Kingdom of Bahrain. We also commend His Majesty the King, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and the Prime Ministers for their unwavering commitment to strengthening the relations between the Kingdom of Bahrain and the Republic of Indonesia, because you know that we are already having beautiful diplomatic relations for about 49 years now. So again, we extend our warmest congratulations on the 52nd of the Bahrain's National Day. Awadu an ukhaniya ila mamlakatil Bahrain wa shabana bimunashabat id al-watani itam wa konsum أسأل الله يوفقكم ويحفظكم وإلى قيدها جلالة الملك حمد بن عيسى الخليفة حفظه الله ورعاه.